I'm here at the base of Carr Canyon, which is south of Sierra Vista, Arizona, only 10 minutes or so. Sierra Vista itself is only about an hour and a half southeast of Tucson, so we're very near the big city. Now, I'm waiting here for the arrival of Sheri Williamson from the Southeastern Arizona Bird Observatory. She and her husband Tom are going to take us up the canyon tonight to look for some owls in their favorite owling spot. But before that, we wanted to take a trip up in elevation, passing through various vegetative life zones. Now, the idea here was developed by C. Hart Merriam at the turn of the century. And he noted that in the Southwest in particular, as one starts from the bottom of a mountain and gains elevation, one passes through different vegetative life zones, starting at the bottom from something like grassland, up through oak woodlands and junipers into ponderosa pine, Douglas fir, and all the way up into spruce forest. Now, the reason that vegetation changes is that as one goes up in elevation, for every 1,000 feet or so, you lose 2 or 3 degrees in temperature, and you also gain moisture, so the vegetation type changes. What's interesting is we go through the biological equivalent of a trip north into Canada. So what's all this mean to a bird watcher? Well, since different bird species are associated with different vegetation types, if we can pass through a variety of life zones, that means we can get a big bird list in a relatively short trip. Very different birds in the low elevation grasslands than you get in the high elevation spruce fir forest. So when Sheri arrives, we'll see if she can't get us a list of, 100-200 species in a half-hour drive. Sheri.
Hey, Dick, how you doing?
Didn't see you in here.
Good to see you.
Hey, this is great. We're going to take a trip up through the life zones?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I'm ready. Now, what's the first life zone we're going to encounter if one took a trip up this canyon?
Well, the desert grassland is always what you find in the mouth of these canyons. Desert grassland or desert scrub. Here in Carr Canyon, it's a lovely grassland. The grasses are all dry right now because it's the dry season, but you see the big green leaves of agaves or century plants sticking out of the grasses. Some of the yuccas you also see up on the dry hillsides. You'll even see ocotillo, which is a plant of the Chihuahuan Desert. Carr Canyon is one of the most convenient places to really get up into the Sky Islands habitats.
So at the highest elevation, we're talking about yellow-eyed junco, we're talking about Steller's jay.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I love the crunch.
Yeah, all these fallen leaves make for a noisy walk, don't they?
I still can't get over this emery oak with the yellow leaves. Here we are in the springtime in Arizona.
Yep.
And it's a deciduous oak.
Yep.
The leaves are falling off. It looks like fall.
Yep, but something you don't see in fall with a typical oak is these fresh young leaves coming in on the tips of the branches.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is strange.
Drop their leaves, immediately grow a fresh crop. This is the oak woodland, which is not entirely oaks, but mostly oak.
And what would be the common birds in this life zone?
Well, with this many oaks, we've got a lot of acorns, and anything that likes acorns is going to be here.
Acorn woodpecker?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
What else?
Well, Mexican jay is a bird that we really don't see down except where the oaks begin to trickle out into the grassland. From here, we continue up in elevation and we end up in the oak pine zone, where we see a number of different species of pines coming in, including Mexican species like the Chihuahua pine, pinon pines.
All right. Ooh, up ahead.
Yep.
I see it. We finally found the indicator of the next life zone.
Yes.
Pinyon pine?
Pinyon pine. This is border pinyon, and this is our first pine species that we encounter as we move up the mountain.
So now we're in a pine, juniper, oak woodland.
Yes.
And
bridal titmouse, another very characteristic bird of the pine oak woodland.
There it is. Oh, what a cute little guy.
They are handsome.
Now, one of my favorite birds of this zone is the black-throated gray warbler. Are they in yet?
Oh, yeah. They've been in for a couple of weeks now. The males are singing that buzzy little song up in the tops of some of the oaks and pines.
Oh, great. Other birds in the pine oak that we need to think about?
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely. Strickland's woodpecker certainly is common here, but other species of woodpeckers also occur in the pine oak zone. Flickers are very common here. I know they're a common bird throughout western North America, the red-shafted form of the northern flicker, but they love these big trees that have plenty of room to make a nice big nest cavity.
What's the next life zone as we head up through the woods
Well,
here?
we start losing more of the oaks and gaining more pines and other conifers.
That'll be fun. Get into real large pines.
Big pines, yes, not these little wimpy pinyon pines. We're getting in some big pines.
Ponderosa
Ponderosa.
Oh, Sheri, this is absolutely gorgeous. I can tell we're a lot higher here. It's a lot cooler.
Yes, and that coolness really is a nice thing to have in June when the deserts nearby are so hot you can come up here in these Sky Island mountains and be deliciously cool and comfortable.
Right. I picked up a few cones on the way. What do you get here?
Yeah, southwestern white pine. This is one of the pines that doesn't have any spines on the tips of the cone scales.
You can squeeze it, not get punctured.
Right, not get bit, yes, yes. And Chihuahua pine, which is one of our Mexican species of pines that comes north.
And look at this cute little cone.
Yeah.
Douglas fir, am I right?
Yeah, that's a conifer, not a true pine, but a conifer that comes southward out of the Rockies and down into the Sierra Madre. And this is actually a good species that represents the Rocky Mountain element in these mountain ranges here in southeastern Arizona. And this is a species that's a good indicator for habitat that Rocky Mountain birds like Steller's jays like.
Okay, so around here, Steller's jay.
Steller's jay, hairy
Grace's
woodpecker,
warbler.
Grace's warbler.
Oh,
whoa,
white-throated swifts. Unbelievable.
Oh man, they nest in the cliffs right over here.
This is great. It's late in the day. I wasn't expecting to see any birds.
Whoa, they surprised us. Made a surprise guest appearance.
All right, let's keep going. This is great.
All right, let's do. Forging
Upward.
onward.
What's the next life zone?
The pine fir.
Pine fir. Oy, oy, oy. Boy, this is quite a bit cooler here. How high do you think we are now?
Around 7,000 feet.
7,000.
We really came up quite a ways.
Notice how much more open this forest is.
Yeah.
And I got a new cone here. This, I take it, is
Ooh.
ponderosa pine.
Yes, big ponderosa compared to the little Chihuahua pine.
One of these. And I also notice at the bases of most of these things, they're black.
Yeah, little charcoal there. Oh yeah, soot.
Look at that.
Yeah. This area experienced a great big fire more than 20 years ago now, but it also every now and then gets little low-intensity fires that help keep this park-like effect, real easy walking.
So this is naturally fires would have occurred here once every, what, 15 to 20 years?
Oh, more often than that, 6 to 10 years, according to tree ring records.
I love this little plant.
Yeah. This
Look
is
at
another plant that loves fire, too.
Feel that smooth bark, this red bark.
A very sensuous little shrub.
Look at the flowers. These things remind me of little lanterns. Now, hummingbirds use these, right?
Yes, they're very nectar rich, and early arriving hummingbirds like broad-tailed and white-eared hummingbirds utilize the nectar. Even though that's not a typical hummingbird pollinated flower, the early arriving hummingbirds have to take whatever they can get, and these nectar-rich flowers are a very good source of nectar in the early part of the season.
That's what we heard fly over just a minute ago, right, broadtail?
Right, that wonderful silvery trill.
What a great bird. Now that fire up there, that's the same fire? All those trees up in the snow?
Yeah, back in about 1977, there was a very large, high-intensity fire. You can see it killed all the big mature trees up there.
Yeah.
But it did leave them standing in the standing dead snags.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Great bird habitat.
Now, what birds do you think are dependent on that kind of opening up that happens with a fire like
Well,
that?
eastern bluebirds, oddly enough. A lot of people come to southeastern Arizona and don't expect to see eastern bluebirds, but they love this mountain habitat here in the Sky Islands. Yeah, and of course they have to have some help in making those. They can't make them themselves, so they rely on things like flickers and acorn woodpeckers, hairy woodpeckers, to make those cavities for them. It's a great place to see some of the other birds that need a lot of flying space, like the lovely little violet green swallows and white-throated swifts.
Yeah, the little violent green swallow.
Violent green swallows.
You know, it's getting on. We're getting to a very late afternoon here.
Yeah.
We've been together for quite a bit of time here during the day. How about spending some time tonight and you show me some owls?
Yeah, it's owl time. This
All
is
right.
the primo owl season.
Is this where we're going to look at owls right here?
Not up here. This is not the best location for seeing the most diversity of the small owls, particularly. We're going to go back down where we were a little bit earlier. But we can ride. We don't have to walk.
Sheri, there's two holes up there. Which hole do you think's the active one, the upper or lower?
Well, Tom was here last night and said they were using the lower hole.
The lower hole.
So that's convenient,
great.
closer to us.
And Tom is going to join us here shortly, and we come all the way back down the mountain to the mixed pine oak juniper zone, where we hope we can see a little elf owl. One of these holes is active. Now, tell us something about what we're going to do here.
Well, fortunately, at a nest site, we can be very low-key. We can just stand off to the side and wait for the owls to do their thing. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Elf owls are very nocturnal, and so we don't expect any action until it begins to get pretty dark. But as we wait here and it gets darker and darker, we'll hear a little chuckling off in the woods. As the male owl comes in, the female will stick her head out of the hole
All right.
and waiting for him to come, and they'll do a little little greeting call to each other, and hopefully we'll get very good looks at them.
All right, you guarantee this?
Oh, if only I could guarantee. But this is our closest to a guarantee that we have in the world of owling.
All right. Oh, here
Hi.
comes Tom.
Hi.
Tom,
You made it.
nice to see you.
Nice
Glad
to
to
see
join
you.
us. Oh, this is
glad
great.
to be here.
This is Tom Wood, Sheri Williamson's husband, and together they run the Southeastern Arizona Bird Observatory.
Have
Did
you
bring
seen them yet?
Not yet.
All right.
You brought a flashlight?
It's
Oh
got to
boy,
be that time, though.
I get to do the honors.
You got to do
Ah,
the honors.
great. So, how much longer you think?
Oh, probably in the next 10 minutes or so. It's getting dark enough now.
Oh, great. This will be good. Can I put the light up there? I think I see eye shine. I think that is the eye shine, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes, yes, there she is.
Oh,
There she
beautiful.
is.
Right on cue.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
that is amazing. I don't believe it.
What a beautiful little face.
This is incredible. That's got to be the neatest looking bird in the world.
They are a dandy little bird, smallest of all the world's owls.
Now, you said she. Why do you guys think this is
wow.
a female?
Well, the female is the one that sits on the egg. She does the lion's share of the duty of incubation during the daytime, which, of course, for an owl is the equivalent of nighttime for most other birds. And many female birds of diurnal species do the incubation during the nighttime.
He's
Ah,
calling now.
Oh,
You
the
hear the
male's
male?
calling?
Yeah, I hear the male calling.
Oh, you have better ears than I.
They came back to the nest a little late this year.
They used this net hole last year?
It's the same hole
Yeah.
they used
I'll
last year.
be darned.
This is an old acorn woodpecker hole, and in fact, this same tree has been used by acorn woodpeckers and flickers during the time that these elf owls were
Okay.
nesting last year.
Yeah,
so.
it looks like a nice, clean, round, that's a
Yeah.
fairly small hole. I was
Fairly
going to
small,
guess,
that's very
guess
important.
something like hairy woodpecker.
Yeah. I think I hear the male calling over there. Here he comes.
Somebody went in.
Pop
There it
back
is.
up.
Do you think that's the male that went in?
I think so, yes. The face looks a little
Yeah.
bit different.
It does look
I think
different.
they
And he's
yeah.
chuckling. He's going to hang out and guard the hole while she's off, taking a drink and a bath probably.
I'll be darned.
And he's just chuckling.
Look at him. Oh, that's great.
That is such a great call.
Oh, look at that. You can even see his little throat going as he's giving it.
Uh-huh. He's got a much paler outline to his face than
Yeah.
the female does.
Yeah. Noticeably different.
As with most other birds of prey, he's going to be a little bit smaller than she is, too, so
Uh-huh.
it's not quite as tight a squeeze in
Yeah.
the hole.
Isn't that
Well,
funny?
they did a quick switch, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they specialize in the quick change around. Now, he's going to sit there and chuckle, probably reminding her that she needs to get back as soon as possible.
Don't forget
Because
me.
he
I'm
wants the heck out of there.
That's right. It's not girls' night out, honey.
Tom, Sheri, I really want to thank you two for sharing your special night owl spot with me.
We're glad to do it.
All right. This was
Thanks.
fun.
Come back anytime.
All right.